This is the Nightwolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the G.I. Joe Super 7 Reaction Plus action figure of Snake Eyes, the Commando. So this is supposed to be, I believe, the comic accurate version of Snake Eyes, which I don't know why he's got so much blue on him, but I've never actually really read the old Marvel comics. However, I do have the Skybound omnibuses coming to me. I believe I got a notification that they just shipped this week, and I will have to do a review on those, although not the stories necessarily, just the quality. But that's a whole nother story. Again, this is a Super 7 one. So far, I've been kind of disappointed in the Super 7 O-ring figures, especially with the Crimson Twins arm breaking off. On the back of the box, we of course see Snake Eyes comic, Cover Girl, which was her first appearance in the animation, Cobra Commander, also looking like his animation model, and the final one would be the Cobra Bat comic version, which I have on order but haven't received yet. And I keep on debating if I just want to cancel that order. So Snake Eyes comes with a variation, or I think it's his original card on the back. So we have Snake Eyes, Commando, file name, classified, primary military specialty, infantry, secondary military specialty, hand-to-hand combat instructor, grade E5, birthplace, classified. Snake Eyes is proficient in 12 different unarmed fighting systems, karate, kung fu, jiu-jitsu, and is highly skilled in the use of edged weapons. Has received extensive training in mountaineering, undercover demolitions, jungle, desert, and Arctic survival, and some forms of holistic medicine. Qualified expert, all NATO and Warsaw Pact small arms. This man is a total mystery, but he's real good at his job. Heck, he's the best. So let's go ahead and open him up. Jesus. Can I just say for the record right now, those weapons look overly large to me. Well, we're already doing better than the Crimson Twins as his arm didn't break off. He's got a hollow backpack. Looks like the sword is supposed to fit in there. But there's like no thing at the bottom for it. It just sits in there like that. So that's not a very good fit probably. Let's see. Then when you put it on him, it looks like we are bending the sword a bit. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to be fairly negative with this review to start with because of my last experience. So, but still, that's stupid. They should have just had, if they're going to go ahead and do this, like traditional G.I. Joe backpacks for swords have it designed so that there's a top and the bottom part where the sword goes through. And there's no reason why they couldn't have had an out area back there. But no, instead, they just have it go the one way, and it kind of bends the sword in there. Again, he's got his like Uzi here, and it just looks really oversized compared to him. Let's see how he holds his weapons, though. Actually holds the Uzi pretty well. Let's try the sword. I don't know if the sword design is actually from the comic. The sword is kind of loose and wiggles. You got to wiggle it just a little bit. Come on and wiggle it just a little bit. Yeah. So, not that impressed with that. So the sword and the backpack are kind of garbage. The Uzi's fine. Although, again, it looks like it's too big to me. Articulation-wise on this figure, we just seem to have a swivel, and it's only a partial swivel as he can only do about a, what is that, about a 60-degree arc? Yeah, about a 60-degree arc maybe. Can't go all the way looking over his shoulder. Arms hinge up and down, and they can spin. Elbow has a hinge on it, and there's a bicep cut at the elbow. Let's see. All right, so his hand does not swivel on the wrist on either side. O-ring figure. So you can wiggle him all around and spin him and such. He can kick forward. He can kick forward. The O-ring is tight enough that it's causing his leg to jerk back. He can push back about that far. We can kind of do the splits, although that's really awkward, and I'm afraid he's going to break. Generally, I'm afraid he's going to break because he's Super 7 now. The knee bends at a 90 degree. I cannot tell you how accurate he is to the comic because, again, I have not actually read the comics that he's from. I will be doing that soon. Compared to the original Hasbro one from the 80s, while he does seem to have a more well-defined sculpted body there, like you can almost see his abs. Everything else is kind of, I guess, he's got more painted detail than the original does. And they did kind of duplicate a lot of the things. But again, I think since this is supposed to be the comic version and not the actual, like, toy version, it's not a replica of the toy version, but just the comic version. Unfortunately, I don't have Snake Eyes' sword from the original 80s one to compare it to the other one. But this, I believe, it was his Uzi, and this is the one from Super 7. Big difference in size there. I've never held a real Uzi, so honestly I couldn't tell you which one is closer to being accurate size-wise, scale-wise. Just out of curiosity. Nope, backpacks are too different. So, being that these two figures are basically supposed to be the same. Oh yeah, and Super 7 doesn't actually paint the pegs, or the pins. Let's take a look at the inside of Snake Eyes. And we are going to open up both of them so we can get as close to a direct one-on-one comparison as possible between these two figures. Alright, so Snake Eyes does just have a swivel neck, and there's the thing that's stopping us from turning it all the way. This is what I keep on talking about, though, when I call it combination hinge and ball joint. Because this is what allows it to spin and move up and down a little bit on these old figures. But let's take a look at the pin here. Yep. All of the Super 7 ones are really thin, and I don't understand why they decided to make them that thin. And this end part is just huge compared to the one that was on the Hasbro. Like, I would almost say they used the same amount of plastic, just Hasbro did it better back in the 80s. Like, if it had done right, why did you redo it? Why did you make it weaker? That's just awful. So yeah, I cannot recommend the Super 7 O-ring figures because of this. Those are probably going to break a lot easier than the other ones. Like, I don't think I've ever had anybody tell me that the vintage O-ring Joes broke at the shoulder joint, you know what I mean? Like, I've had them snap in other areas, but this part, I don't think I've ever heard of anybody snapping one there. This is just way too thin. My Snake Eyes might need to have a rubber band replacement. And when we look inside, I honestly don't see any reason why they couldn't have done a larger joint there on the Super 7 version. There just does not seem to be any lacking of room that would dissuade that. I think it was just like, I guess I can't even say that they're sheeping out on it because it looked like they used the same amount of plastic on the joint. It's just they have it distributed weird. Oops. And there's probably no way I'm going to be able to do this. Oh, shoot. Look at that, though. Also, the O-ring on the Super 7 one, it's actually damaged already. And there's a chunk taken out of there. I don't know how well you can see this. But there is like literally a chunk taken out of the O-ring. And then let's just compare it. Okay, so this is the Super 7 O-ring again. Here at the top, hopefully you can see it. There's a chunk missing from it already. Here is the replacement O-rings I have. I'm going to swap that out now. And you know, I can see the problem right now. Oh, shoot. The reason why that O-ring was an issue was because of the way they have those pegs set up there. So what I am thinking is when they went to put this together, that O-ring was caught in the where the pin and hole are and just got damaged that way. Heck, whoa. Good Lord. It even kind of looks like there is some fatigue here. Let me see. You can kind of see some fatigue on the pin that goes in that one too, so that's probably what happened. Like, I know what a pain in the butt it is to put these Joe figures together. Good Lord. I don't think that screw's going in properly either now. Alright. Well, we fixed that. He's got a proper O-ring that's not damaged. Might as well... Oh, crap. Might as well swap out the original Snake Eyes while we're at it. So, okay. This is an O-ring that is from the 80s. So that's like more than 20 years old. This is the O-ring from now. And again, that damage right there, it's annoying. So yeah, I'm just saying you would expect to see like some wear and tear on the older ones. But not so much wear, not the kind of, but not the newer ones. See, in that design, that slips in there so much easier than it did on the Super 7 one. Wasn't anticipating doing a repair video today. Be nice if I stopped dropping stuff. Should really just get a real screwdriver to leave with this kit instead of these stupid little tiny things that they gave me. But anyway, there you go. That'll conclude our look at the Super 7 Snake Eyes compared inside and out with the 80s version. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I certainly hope that it was informative to you. But yeah, I don't see myself buying anymore. I might even cancel the order for the bat, honestly, at this point. I just can't recommend the Super 7 ones. Those pins on the arms are way too thin. And then there doesn't seem to be any reason for that. Just looking at the insides, there should have been plenty of room in there to do that. And then, of course, we saw that the way that the O-ring was sitting inside there, it was, you know, it got a chunk taken out of it when it was closed off. That I wasn't expecting to see, but Jesus. That is some quality control issues right there. The backpack on this guy sucks, just because of the way the sword sits in it. Again, there is absolutely no reason why they couldn't have had another slot in that end right there. So the sword could have just gone straight through, and then it wouldn't be pushing against his back and wouldn't be getting bent when it's on him. So overall, while I'm not mad like I was with the Crimson Twins since they didn't break, I just don't think the figure's that good. I think their quality is terrible, and I think it's going to break if you do anything with it. I mean, yeah, we're adult collectors, but we still kind of play with our toys a little bit. Besides doing this review, a lot of people will pose their figures for their displays. Granted, I don't pose my figures as much just because I'm trying to fit as many as possible in the display, so posing is often not something you can do. But still, other people do it, and if you move this figure's arms too much, I think it's going to snap, just like with the Crimson Twins. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please feel free to subscribe. I would appreciate it. I'm not going to make my goal for December. I'm not going to make my goal, obviously, for the year. I was hoping to hit 500 before the end of the year on YouTube, but I think we're still about 70 away from that, roughly. But I want to thank everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate it. And whoever keeps giving me almost all my videos a like, I love you. Thank you. But I thank you all for the time you've taken to watch my videos and to watch this video. And I wish you all peace and love. And I don't know what day I'm going to post this, but also I want to wish you a Happy New Year.